Okay, the second part to evaluate a postfix expression is the easy part. So first, this time our stack is going to be numbers like doubles. Remember, you can do that because it's a template class. And it's going to work only with the postfix expression. We're all done with infix. So if the next thing in the postfix is a number, we just we push it on the stack. And if it's an operator, then I'll talk about that in a minute while there's more expression to read. So the next one is a number. We push that on the stack. And then we have the 4. We push that on the stack. And then we have multiplication. So if the next input is an operator, which is multiplication, use the top and pop operations to get 2 numbers off the stack. And this is going to be the second operand. So you're going to take this off. You're going to take off the top and then pop it. And that's going to be the right operand. So that's going to be the right operand, right? We're working on multiplication now. So we pop this guy off. And then we pop off the 3. We take the top and then we pop, right? And then we just multiply these two together, which gives us 12. And then what you do is you push that result back on the stack. Then we have the addition. So again, we pop off the 12, and it's going to be the right operand. And then we pop off the 1, and we apply the addition. And that guy is equal to 13. And now everything's coming off of our stack. So if we look at this, we should be getting the right answer, right? When we evaluate, initially we know that this is 12 plus 1 is 13, and that's the answer that we get, so that's good. But this is really, you know, relatively easy to do. So let's take a look at the next one. Here's our stack. So we've got 2, right? We push that on the stack. Then we've got a 3. Then we push that on the stack. Then we've got multiplication. So it'll be 2 times 3, right? We're going to pop both those guys off the stack. And that is it equals 6. Right? And we push the 6 on the stack. Then we've got a 4. Push that on the stack. Then we've got a 5. We push that on the stack. And then we've got multiplication. So we're going to pop off the 4 and the 5. So that's going to give us, let's see, 4 times 5, right, which is equal to 20. So we do this, right, we pop those guys off, and then we push the 20 back on the stack. And then we've got subtraction. So we have 6 minus 20 now, right? We pop both those guys off. We apply the operator. And that's going to give me minus 14. When I take those off the stack, now my stack is empty. And I'm going to go back to infix and check this. 2 times 3 is 6. Minus 4 times 5 is 20. Right? Minus 14. Okay? And this is a little easy because you don't have any of the parentheses to worry about anymore either. So the postfix is 3, 4, right? When we, oops, let's move my evaluate up here. 3, 4, then plus, right? So when we're evaluating, it's going to be 3 plus 4 equals 7. And then we push the 7 back on the stack. And then we've got 5 is next in our postfix. And then multiplication. So that we pop those off, it'll be 5 equals 35, right? And when you push that back on the stack, right? And that's what it says. At this point, there's only one number remaining on the stack, and that guy is your answer, okay? And let's just check. This would be 7 times 5 is 35. Okay, good. All right, let's take a look at this one. And again, they're easy because there's no parentheses to deal with anymore. All right, so we've got in our postfix here 2 and 4, right? So 2, push 4. Then we're going to pop them both off, the 2 and the 4. And we're going to apply the addition. So it's going to be 2 plus 4 equals 6. And then we're going to push the 6 back on the stack. And then we've got 3, so we're going to push 3. And then we've got division, right? So here you got to be careful because this is going to be 6 divided by 3. You've got to remember the first one that you take off becomes the right operand, and this becomes a left operand. And 6 divided by 3 is 2. And we push the 2 back on the stack. And then we've got 5, so we push the 5. And then we've got multiplication. So we're going to pop both those guys off. It's going to be 2 times 5, which is 10. And push that back on the stack, and that's the end of our expression, and whatever's left on the stack is our answer. So again, let's just check this. Is 6 divided by 3 is 2 times 5 is 10, and that's what we've got here. Okay, we'll do the last two. Okay, on this guy, we've got 2, we push 2, then we push 3 on the stack. Then we've got exponent, so that's going to be 2 raised to the third power, right, is going to be 6. So we pop both those off, we put the 6 back on, and then we've got 2, so we push 2. And then multiplication. So then next we would have 6 times 2 is 12. So we pop both these guys off and we push the 12 on. That's the end of the expression, and that's our answer. And let's just check that. That's not right. What's 2 to the third power? 2, right? Is 8. My goodness. And this is 8. And this is 16. Sorry about that. Math error there. Okay. So 2 to the third power is 8 times 2 is 16. And that would be 16 too. Okay. And let's look at our last example. All right. So we would push 1, push 2, then we have addition, right? So it'll be 1 plus 2. We'll pop both these guys off the stack. 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, and that gets pushed back on the stack, right? And then we're going to push 5, and then we've got addition. So we pop both those guys off, and we would have 3 plus 5 equals 8. Right, so we pop these guys off, and now we push the 8 back on. And then we've got 2, so we push 2. And then we have division. So when we pop those off, we're going to have 8 divided by 2, which is 4. Right, we pop these off, and then we've got 4 on the stack, and 4 is the answer. So this will be 3 plus 5 is 8 divided by 2 is 4. Okay, so there are some examples of how to evaluate all of our postfix expressions.